Hey guys, Zizaran here. So Legacy League is starting pretty soon and I wanted to make a video showing off some things on poe.trade that all of you might not be aware of. So let's take this an example that if you want to buy like boots with really high resistances and high life, you'd be, especially if you're new to poe.trade, you would be like very specific in how you would search for your resistances. So a lot of people would be entering fire, cold and lightning, just typing in high values and then clicking search. Now this is on standard and you're still, well, being that specific, even though the numbers are pretty high, you're not getting that many, right? So something that I want to show off is something called pseudo total elemental resists. So we're searching for the same amount of resistances, same amount of life, same thing. There's nothing changed here except that it's less specific in where those resists are, and we're getting 66 versus 19 results. And this is really important because especially if you're like just getting like any generic gear for your character, you can at least on like your glove, helmet, boot, be very broad with where your resists are getting. Like as long as you need 135 in every resist. So then this what this lets you do is it lets you be a lot more specific on like just your rings or just a glove, and on your other stuff you'll be able to buy a lot cheaper stuff. So I will show you how it is here, and it's on total elemental resistance. So the way you find it is you just search for res, and then you scroll down there, total elemental resistance. So I would definitely recommend using that. That's generally what I always search for. Even if you are searching for specific resists, you can, so in a lot of cases you would need like exactly like 26, whatever, doesn't matter. You can slap that in and have it just like 1, doesn't really matter, but that'll give you this pseudo res here. You can click sort and then you can see what has the most total. So here we have some like nice boots with 184, which is max obviously, and especially in new leagues this is very useful to have in. Another thing that is very useful in a league in particular is the jewel searches. Now if you're trying to be very specific with your jewel search, say you're searching for maximum energy shield, area damage, fire damage, right? This is a nice rare jewel that you can find, which would be really good for flame blast totems, for example. You search for that, and even on standard there are only 12 that have that, right? And especially say you get lucky enough to find a 4-stat jewel, so say you get cast speed in as well, right? Really good flame blast totem. Well, there's 0 for sale. So I've had a lot of especially new players message me, be like, oh my god, there's not even one listed of standard. There's not even one listed on standard. This must be worth like 40x, right? But what you do instead is you do something, you call it it's a count search. So you would search for like all the mods. So let's do flame blast totems as a CI build as an example, right? You have a lot more mods that actually affect it. So increased damage, spell damage while holding a shield, and then you have like cast speed while holding a shield. Like you, as you can see, you have a lot of mods that are like valuable. There's actually more than this as well, so we haven't actually added anything or everything yet. You could be going crit multi, you could be going for attack speed for shield charge or whirling blade. So once you've like added everything that like possibly affects your class, then you say first you can search for a 4-stat jewel, right? See if there are any of those for sale. And here you see there's 13 4-stat jewels for sale. I'm not really going to talk about the prices because this is on standard. And then if you then search for 3-stat jewels, you'll see that there are like a bunch. This will be applied to leagues as well. So the count search is very important. An extra tip, something I would do, is I would do both a count and search, especially if I'm playing a life build and I'm trying to maximize the amount of life I have on a build, right? To deal with things like volatiles, then I would be searching for life in a separate, this is in an and search, and then you have the count search still. So now I'm looking for these plus, so this is a 4-stat search now. That means it has to have life and 3 of the other stats. There's 3 life. And when I don't have all the mods in, there would be more on standard, but very important for jewel searches. And this can be like, it can be very tricky to price check your own jewels during this, because especially as a new player you might not know exactly what applies to which builds. Like you can see like in area damage and spell damage, you'll probably know a few things, but you might not know exactly how to make a search for price checking that. Jewels are mostly one of the things that you sort of have to know. You have to know what is the current meta, what is currently very popular, and how much can you sell it for. Now, the third thing that I want to go through on poe.trade is the whoops. So a lot of you who watch my stream in the start will hear a lot of the either whoops or any custom sound effect I've set up for that. And the way you set up a whoop is, say you want to find chains that bind. Let's use that as an example. Or a important divination card, or maybe you really need a Benos, consuming dark at the start of the league. Now you search for the normal thing and make sure it's on the league you want, and then you click here to perform this search in live mode and be instantly notified when the items matching your criteria are posted. And what this will do is you can have it on different ones. I usually put it on like a minute, and then every minute it's going to do a search. And if something new is posted, this is not if someone comes online, by the way, but if something new gets posted, then it'll notify you. And you can have it notify with sound and notify with a browser notification. The browser notification is that the tab will turn red, and the sound is default set to whoop. There are a couple of... I'll link a Reddit post in my description, as long as I can find it, showing how to customize the sounds, but obviously that is not very important. It's more about having the sound there so you can see when the item you need is up for sale. So usually at the start of a new league, I would like think of like, okay, well, what items do I need the most for my build? So be it like a consuming dark, be it a 6-link. Like this is how I got a 6-link in not the breach league, but in essence I had a 6-link after like 8 hours, because I had a whoop up for a 5-link, an energy shield 5-link, and then suddenly a 6-link popped up for sale for like 25 chaos. And yeah, I managed to buy it really fast because obviously I play with a group. So I was like, Embu, can you like borrow me 4 chaos? I'll be able to get the last 16, and then easy 6-link early in the league, because that is slightly over an Exalts. Like early league, obviously everything is, people want to shift things, right? So if you're not an energy shield build, you're going to be either listing it fast to try to sell it for a armor 6-link or an evasion 6-link, or you're going to just try to get like currency that you need that you can buy other things. So an X early on is something like 15 to 20 chaos, and then they go up very fast, obviously. But early on, most people won't be able to buy one. So this is pretty much the majority of the tips that I can think of. Hopefully it helps you and gives you guys a little advantage in the league. If you have any questions, you can check me out on Twitch TV/Zizaran, and have fun in Legacy, guys. Good luck, and try to die less than I do.